All right, you guys, I'm just going to give it a little few minutes here to see if anybody will come on tonight. And I'm going to be hosting, or I am hosting, a Strong of Heart card class. And it's a free class for you guys. So if you're watching, let me know. And we love to see comments of where people are watching from. And also what you've been up to. So, and also, what's your favorite stamp set right now from the Stampin' Up! Catalog, whether it's the annual catalog or the mini catalog? We all would love to know what you guys are all working on. So, this is my craft room. So, welcome to my craft room. It's somewhat clean and organized, but I've been really busy working on my retreat for this weekend. So I was able to take off today and tomorrow for my normal 40-hour work week to finish up the last few touches for my stamp retreat. So I'm looking forward to stamping with 12 people in person, and we got a few retreat in the boxes to go and ship out next week. So welcome to my studio here. In the background, you can kind of see that orange. This is really funny. 2 years ago, that's my grandson's bottom. So my son and his wife inked up his bottom in orange and sat him on a piece of paper. And he, that's his butt. So that resembles a pumpkin. So I have that on my craft room in the back of me. This is my very first in-person video, so I gotta hopefully flip the camera down and hopefully do everything correctly. If I don't, so please bear with me if I do make some mistakes, because this is my first time. It's taken me a while to come on live. I do come on live once in a while, but it's taped, but not live. So we'll just give it one more minute and then we'll get started. So I hope you guys are doing well. Give us a comment if you would like to, and let us know where you're watching from. What's your favorite stamp set in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, whether it's in the annual catalog or the mini catalog. I'm going to be working with a stamp set called Strong of Heart, and that can be found in the mini catalog. And I'll show that to you once I put the camera down, but it is on page 5, and I know everything is backwards here, and it's the stamp set right here, very close to my heart, of course. Not sure if you saw my Facebook post today, but in my early 50s, I had a heart ablation because my heart wasn't ticking correctly, and then usually that first one doesn't work, and you have to have at least one more. So I did have one more about, I don't know, a year later, and that one seems to work. I'm going to knock on wood because I don't want to go through that again, a third round. So anyway, I'm going to be working with that one. It's a Make a Difference stamp set, and every stamp set that is purchased, Stampin' Up! Does donate $3 of the monies generated from the sales of the Strong of Heart stamp set, and we'll donate that to, so that's a making a difference, and I love how they always make a difference in everyone's life. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to point the camera down and hopefully do it correctly. So if I don't, please bear with me as I learn how to do all this. So hold on just a second. All right, I just flipped. And now I gotta rotate downward. All right, looks like that all worked fairly well. Hopefully I didn't make you all sick. There we go. So I think it all looks good. I gotta get this cord. I use this, I know I don't have a wireless mouse, you guys. I'm like old school because I don't want to go buy one, because guess what? This mouse here works even though it's got a wicked long cord on it. But save some money and use what I have. So anyway, this is my offering for you guys. What I want to do is I want to bring you a live card class once a week. That is my goal. I told my team at our last team gathering that I had a goal, and that was to bring back my Facebook Live daily, or not daily, but weekly live. So I'm not sure what day it's going to be yet. November is so super busy for me with in-person classes, my retreats. I've got so much going on. And plus, I need to get up to see my mom and dad, which I have not seen them in about a month and a half. So lots of things going on in my life. But anyway, I do want to spend some time with you guys offering a ordering special. So my ordering special for this week, it runs from November 4th through the 7th. And it's called Strong of Heart Card Class. And what you need to do to earn this class, I'm going to show it to you for free today, but if you would like the kits, I will send out the kits free of charge to you, and I'll go over these in just a minute. You would place an order of $35 or more using this host code here, which is, host code is 27EXQPUU. And here is my website, which is my online store with Stampin' Up. So it's KarenMcNall.stampinup.net, or excuse me, KarenMcNall1.stampinup.net. So that is my ordering special. And I already have one ready to go. This is what the kit will look like. It will be mailed in a pink envelope, so you'll see it come in your way once it gets to your mailbox. And I always put a nice little tag on my kits. And this one is from the stamp set we're going to be using, of course. And then inside the kit, you're going to receive 6x6 designer series paper. I've already got it cut for you. You will be cutting it for the cards that we're going to be making tonight. That way you can choose whatever paper you want to use, because your taste might not be the same as mine. I give you the ribbon we're using for that card, and I've got some embellishments already packaged up here for you. So everything is organized very nicely in here, and you can see the 4 kits coming with the basic white Stampin' Up envelopes. Those are the beautiful envelopes that we sell at our website. So the stamp set, again, is called Strong of Heart. It's right here. It retails for $22. So by purchasing this stamp set, you'll be able to use this. Maybe you already have it in your craft room, but this is the one I'm going to be using. So $22 gets you almost to $35 to earn the kit. It is found on page 5 of the mini catalog. You can see it here. I love what they have done with a lot of these cards. Here, this one is embossed in gold. And then I love this one here, the mint macaron. I tried to design that one. I could not get to that one and how they stamped it. I got to practice a little bit more, but I do really like this stamp set. And again, it's close to my heart. Page 5 of the mini catalog. And if you do not have one of these or the annual catalog, I'd be happy to send one your way. You'll just need to fill out the form on my website, inspiredbygram.com, and request a catalog that way. All right, so the paper that's in the kits is called Expressions in Ink. It's a specialty paper, and it's special because it has all that gold in it, and that's what makes it special. It's a little bit priced higher than our normal designer series paper, so it's $15. So with the stamp set and a pack of the 12x12, you're already at $35. It works with lots of nice colors, which is the color scheme for the paper here: Evening Evergreen, Gold Foil, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, Mint Macaron, Pale Papaya, Pear Pizzazz, Polished Pink, and Shaded Spruce. And if you're interested in ordering this one, it's item number 155464, and it's found on page 131 of the annual catalog. This paper was on back order for a long time, and now the supply is fine. So you could pick up a pack of this paper as well. All right, so let's get started. I'm using every single stamp in this stamp set. And all the ribbon, I'll go over everything that I'm going to be using tonight. A lot of the in colors here. So this is a polished pink. It's the open weave ribbon. It's 3/8 of an inch, and there's generally, there's 10 yards on every bolt. Here's the pale papaya. And here is the soft succulent. I've just got a little bit left on this one, so I brought in a spare one just in case I need it. The ink colors for tonight, I've got a few here. I've got the Memento Black. We'll be working with Stampin' Blends. I've got Pale Papaya, Polished Pink, Magenta Madness, and Mint Macaron. Now, I noticed like these ink pads I use in in-person classes, and they're kind of need to get a little bit cleaned up, so I'll work on that, of course. But then I've got all of my stamps mounted on the Stampin' Up! Blocks. And I love the blocks because they're about 1 inch high, and they have this nice little groove inside where you can put your fingers on them, and they're easy to hold. So we've got quite a few of these. This is the E block, so I've got 2 of those. And I also have D blocks. This would go on a smaller block, but all my blocks are actually mounted for my retreat, so I've got to use what I have in my craft room here. So we've got all these. And then the embellishments I'm going to be using on the cards are called Loose Flower Flourishes. And they come in these little containers that do come off. Just want to be careful so I don't spill them all. And you can use glue dots, multi-purpose liquid glue to adhere them to your projects. So we'll be using those. In the kits, you'll receive 12 of these at different colors. And then the Stampin' Blends I'm going to be using tonight are a Mint Macaron and Old Olive Light, and then Polished Pink. All right, so also with the class, you'll receive, now this was a add-on class from my stamp retreat, and I wanted to bring it to you guys too that could not attend my stamp retreat in person or in a box. So this is a class you can earn for free by purchasing $35 minimum from my online store. So you can see the instructions. We'll give you the supply list, measurements, and then all the instructions, and I've got some images there for you as well. This will come in your email inbox, and it will come as a PDF for you to print out or to save to your computer. And if you're a demonstrator or you can use it for a class, I don't really mind how you use it. All right, so let's get started. And the first card we're going to make is this one here. Let me just show you. I've got them all over here. So what I did with this one is I kind of just cut some squares to stamp here. And as you can see, I used the beautiful Designer Series paper on the envelope flaps on every single kit here. And then I simply stamped a little tiny heart in the front of the envelope too. And then just here's another one. All right, and then on the inside of the card, we've got just a strip of the Designer Series paper. And then here's another envelope flap, just using a different variety of Designer Series paper for the flap. All the paper looks great with all the cards. I'm going to move this off to the side, and we'll get started. So here is the card kit. So you can pretend you have this kit. And let's see, I need to cut the Designer Series paper on this one. Oh, guess what? Karen totally forgot to grab this one because I wanted to show you how I actually made this panel, and I already put it away, of course. So hold on just a second. That's my first boo-boo of the video. But let me just bring it over. This is how I keep my Designer Series paper. I'll show you this while I've got it here. I have these clear envelopes that I have all my scraps in. I can see right through the envelope here. the little packet, and I can see what I've got. And so this is really super handy when you want to add your designer series paper to your envelope flaps, or you just need a certain design that you're looking for. You can kind of see it through here. So I'm looking for this pattern. Let's see, hopefully I have some left. This is a full pack. All right, so let's see, we want the pattern that does not have a foil on it. So hopefully I've got some in here. Here it is, right here. It's got this beautiful, I love both sides of this. Here it is. Okay, so I love both sides. Can you see this? It's beautiful. If you just flip this over, I almost want to just reverse this card to something different. Just use the opposite sides, but I love how that polished pink looks really nice on that background. So we're gonna stick with that design. So let me go grab my Stampin' trimmer. It's just on my wall over to the side here. I love the Stampin' trimmer because it's got this little hole here, and I've got a hook on my wall so I can kind of keep it off my work surface while I'm working. So I'm gonna cut this piece here. This is a full pack, so 3 3/4. And then we're going to rotate this and cut it at 5 inches. So 3 3/4 by 5. And then I'm gonna put that piece off to the side there. And now what you just need to do is cut it's 2 inches off. So you just do that. That is going to be the opposite side. Okay, see how that goes? And that's how you get that panel. So let me just hook this back on the wall. And we're gonna stamp. So here is our white. And this is cut, let me get my instructions out, because if you're watching, you wanted to make notes, you can. It is cut 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the heart that's got the outline on it. It looks like this. Again, that's mounted on a E-block. I'm going to take my Memento black ink here, and I'm going to ink this up. And I like to take the ink pad to the red rubber because I have more control that way. And then we're going to stamp this heart on, and I have it crooked on here for a reason because it really makes me stay focused on my stamping. So I'm just going to hover over that white until I see it, and then it's a pretty large stamp, so just gotta keep your fingers kind of pressed and move them around so you can get a clear image. And there's that one. Then the next thing we want to do is we've got a piece of the mint macaron, which is a 1/2 inch by 3. We're going to trim it down. And again, I'm going to use the black. And we're looking for Stronger Than You Know sentiment, which is right here. I've got it at an angle there. And this is a C block. All right, so since it's a smaller stamp, I have a little bit more control. Let's see if I can get this stamp straight. Pretty good. Okay, so that's wonderful. We're done with the black ink for right now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in this piece of paper here so that you can grab that host coat again. It's gonna act as my scrap paper underneath here because when we work with Stampin' Blends, it does bleed through. Okay, so I want to use the mint macaron dark and light. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a chisel point because I have more control that way. And I'm just going to outline this flower here, just where the black lines are. And just go super slow. And then just fill in a little bit there. Then I'm going to come over here, fill that one in, and then over here. Now I'm not going to color in the foliage on this one. I will color it in on another card that we're going to do a little bit later. but I just wanted to have a lot of this white showing. So now I've got the dark on there. Now I'm going to bring in the mint macaron light to give it a little bit of shading here, a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to kind of go over that whole area and in the middle. Okay. Okay. All right, so that is, oops, I forgot this one down here, of course. So let me go grab that dark. And then the light. Okay, so that's all I want to do with the Stampin' blends. Now we can just assemble the card. So here, I'm gonna just show you the back side. Here is what you get if you don't use your scrap paper. You could damage your work surface, so you don't want to do that. All right, so now I've got the Just Jade. Now I haven't used Just Jade in so long. This is cut 3 3/8 by 2 7/8, so it's going to get mounted on just like that. You can use whatever adhesive you want, and then I'm going to use liquid glue. And then I'm just going to add it all the way around and just a little bit in the middle. And then we're going to mount it on here, just 1/8 of an inch border. And what I like to do is I like to look at the lower left corner and then adhere it down. So this one's all set. And now we can work with another Just Jade panel. This is cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And here's the designer series paper that we did cut down. And you can kind of see what you can do is kind of work with it to see what pattern you want. I'm going to replicate the one that we did earlier, or I made earlier. So we're going to add adhesive to the back side here. I can see that my Stampin' trimmer needs a new blade. I can tell by the way it cut this paper. So I need to change that after this video here. Okay, then you can just decide how you want this. There's really no right and wrong with this pattern here. What you want to do is look at, here's the original. This is the area that's going to show the most. So just decide what pattern you want showing. I kind of like it going this way because I see that polished pink is up in the corner there. So that's what I'm going to do with this panel here. And then we're going to take this one here, add our liquid glue to the back side. And then I'm going to butt this right up to the edge of the one we just barely put down and have a nice seam there. It's not going to be shown very much, like 1/2 inch in the bottom and the top. Okay, and then here's our panel. I'm going to prep it with some Stampin' dimensionals. So let me grab some of those. I had them ready to go. Here they are. Almost brand new sheet. I'm only going to use 4 because I have been using 5 lately, or probably for my whole entire life stamping. But if you put the Stampin' dimensionals in a little bit, you can get away with not adding one in there, and you've got you've just saved 1 Stampin' dimensional. So just a tip for you. And then we're going to peel off the backings here. And then let's bring our mint macaron base in. And this one is cut, let me just show you. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And it's going to go this way, so that opens like this. And then here's our panel. We don't want to put it down yet because we need to add that polished pink ribbon. So let me just grab this off. This is how I put it in the card kit. And it will be kind of like, you can kind of see how it's got those little bends in it. But don't worry about that. You can take your bone folder as well and just take it like this, and you'll get rid of those bends. Okay. All right. So now there's plenty of ribbon here. I think there's 20 inches worth. I'm going to I added the ribbon to the back side, flipping it over, and then I'm going to add it to the front. That way this ribbon can still go in and out. And now we're going to create our bow on the left side of this panel here. And I want it way over to the left, so we can always move it. And I noticed that I need a little bit more on this side. Okay. Actually, I'm just gonna create the bow in the middle and then slide it over. Okay, so we'll just hopefully get this made easily. Now, if you watch me, usually watch me on Friday nights on my YouTube channel at 8 o'clock. I'm not going to be there tomorrow because tomorrow it's my setup for my retreat. So I will be setting up my retreat. My husband's going to help me out, which is really nice. He's going to help me bring everything into the meeting room. So that will definitely help me out. And it's not supposed to rain, so that's even better. Okay, so here's our bow. I'm sliding it over. I'm not going to trim these tails until I get this other panel on here. So here's our stamped and blended focal point. We're going to add some more Stampin' dimensionals. And again, I would just add 4 of them here, about 1/2 of an inch inside. And then we will just peel these right off. Hi, Carol. I finally have somebody watching me. Yay. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is a free card class, and I'm hoping to bring free card classes once a week and starting this month. So here we are. All right, so now this is going to go on the front of the card. Now what I want to do is I want to see some of this polished pink ribbon on the right side because it's pretty and we want to show it off, right? And then I want this panel in the middle. So let's just kind of hover over. All right, and then I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to press down where those dimensionals are. And now I'm going to slide this ribbon bow over so it's in the center of this area here. This is a little loose, so I'm going to secure it with a glue dot. Okay. And we're going to trim off those tails. So let me grab some of my really nice ribbon scissors. We'll just trim these down at an angle. And then we need to take our sentiment and we're going to put this right on. Now, you can put it on wherever you want. Now, I put it on down here. You can do whatever you want. So let me take my paper snips and we're going to angle cut this banner just to give it a little bit of character. All right, so we're going to add this right about here. And since this sentiment is going over the side, we might want to put a Stampin' dimensional on this corner here. So let me just grab, let me use my mini Stampin' dimensionals. I'm trying to use these a little bit more. I have a bunch of them and they are kind of super handy. I'm just trying to find my take your pick tool. Here it is. All right, so we're going to grab one of those and then let me just figure out, okay, it's this side here. Okay, and then we're going to add, I got too much going on here. Let me just move some things out of the way. Add our liquid glue to that area there. We're going to flip it over and I am going to add that sentiment right here. And let me grab that tail there. Okay. There we go. And then this panel here is for the inside. It's basic white. All right, and then on this card here, I added a piece of designer series paper. That's an option for you, or you can simply stamp. So I'm gonna, on this one, I'm gonna stamp with the mint macaron. And there's a little heart in that stamp set. So we're just gonna ink that up. And I'm just gonna stamp one single heart down in the lower corner. And since I'm working with this heart, let me take my envelope and we're gonna add a single heart to the envelope as well. Let's close this up. We're kind of done with this color here. And then let's grab this white here. I'm going to try to use my Stampin' Seal because I am almost done with this and it needs a refill. So I'm going to try to get that one to expire so I can add some new in it. All right, so I've got my white panel and here we go. Now, if you really wanted to bling this out, what you could do, you could take some Wink of Stella and you can simply just add it to the flowers, just like this. I think it adds a lot to it. And there you go. And let me just, yeah. So that's card number 1. And let me just show you all the cards I have here with number 1. Oh, you know what I did not do is I did not put the designer series paper on the envelope flap. So, excuse me, we're going to do that right now. I'm just going to grab, it doesn't really matter. Let's see. I'm going to take this gold. This gold is kind of fun. Okay. And you can go whatever way you want. For me, I would go up and down portrait. You do want to make sure that your edge is straight. That way you have less cutting to do. And I'm going to use that Stampin' Seal and see if I can run out of it. So I'm just putting this all around the edges. I think yep, I'm out. There's red there, so that's good. Let me just grab another one I have off to the side here and get it started. Okay, so now I've got the adhesive there, and then I'm going to grab some of that designer series paper and line it up on the edge. I'm going to go this way. I've been working in my craft room all day, and now it's night and it's dark and it's so much harder to stamp in here. Okay, there we go. All right, struggled with that one. All right, so now we're just gonna trim this off around the corners. And there's that piece. Okay, so that's that envelope flap. So we've got 3 different envelope flaps, 1, 2, and 3. So you can kind of see what those look like. Beautiful. Why not add your designer series paper to your envelope flaps? That's what we're going to be doing in our retreat. We have all the cards have designer series paper on them. So here's the 3 cards. I've got 3 envelopes, 3 cards. Awesome. All right, so that's our first card in our class tonight. Again, if you're just watching me live, I'm offering a Strong of Heart card class tonight. It's free. And then if you order from my website from November 4th through the 7th using this host code, Morning on his way to see his new nephew. All right. Oh, you guys, I did not put on that last card. Oh boy. Let me grab it. The loose flower flourishes. So here they are. They come in this little container and there's 3 different colors there. So what we're going to do is we're going to add, so there's 2 different sizes. This size here, the larger one, you can just use a glue dot. It's easy. Okay. So just add it here, peel it off. And then I'm just going to stick it right here. And then there's these little tiny ones. So I find that they are super hard to pick up, except if you have your take your pick tool, they're not. So there's a putty side on the take your pick tool, and it does kind of get yucky. So, and mine is almost, there we go. All right, so then I can pick, what I want to do is I want to add some liquid glue, and I'm just going to add one over there, and then I'm going to add one down here. So I've got my triangle going on with my embellishments. And then I can take my Take Your Pick tool, find one of these loose flowers, pick it up with the Take Your Pick tool on the putty side, and then just find that glue, and we're going to add one right there. And then I've got one of these purple ones. Okay, so how easy is this? So I got 3 different colors, even though I haven't worked with that color in so long. What is it called? Fresh Freesia. So even though Fresh Freesia is not in that paper, it's still in the family, the In Colors, and it works perfectly. So that is our loose flower flourishes that we embellish the cards with. All right, so now we're going to go to number 2, card number 2. Card number 2 looks like this. Let me flip it around the correct way. And you can see I used that pattern for my envelope flap. And then on this one here, I used the same one that is in that card as well. This one is super easy to make, very easy to mass produce, and then on the inside, simple. Okay, so let's get started with this one. And let's see, I've got everything we need. I do need to clean some of the stamps here, that heart. So let me find my Stampin' scrub. Actually, I know I brought my Stampin' scrub. Nope, there it is. Okay. I've cleaned all of my Stampin' scrubs tonight for Saturday and Sunday. So they are drying in front of the pellet stove. Hopefully they will dry in time. Okay. So now this one is kind of fun because we're going to be using this stamp set here, the largest heart in the Strong of Heart stamp set. You can kind of see what I've kind of played with some of the envelopes, adding hearts and what have you. I'm going to need some scrap paper, so let me grab some out of my drawer. Okay, so I used the double, what was this one called? Hold on just a second. I used the heart punch pack to create the hearts. There's just a regular heart, and then there is a scalloped heart that looks like this. It's a double punch pack, love it. So that's kind of what they look like side by side. What we're going to do to create this image here is we're going to take our polished pink, oh no, that's Magenta Madness. I want polished pink, open up our ink pad, and then I'm taking it right to the stamp. This is really super juicy. So we're going to get a dark color, but it will dry later. I'm just going to add that stamp right over the heart, and then you can kind of see, where is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay, you can see all that unused ink, so be very careful with this one. And then this is the image we got by doing that. Now let's take my envelope, and we're going to ink it up with polished pink. Add a single heart down on the lower corner of that envelope. And that's all we've got for the stamping on this one. Super easy. All right, so now we've got our basic white card base, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. This also comes in thick basic white. I'm just using the regular basic white for today's card. Here's our polished pink, which is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and our designer series paper. We're going to go with this pattern tonight. This is cut 3 3/4 by 5. We're going to take our glue, and we're just going to add it on the edges and a little bit down the middle. Flip it over and add it to our cardstock. Again, that's polished pink, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then we're going to take our gold foil. See, this is beautiful. This is, I already embossed it with a Pretty Flowers embossing folder using my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then we're just gonna add our liquid glue to the back side. And then I'm going to, rather than putting it right in the middle, I like to go a little bit further down. That way, if you don't get it straight in the middle, it won't look so odd. Okay, so then that is all set. We can take this panel, flip it over, add our liquid glue to the back side. Bring in our card base, making sure it's opening the correct way. It's a top fold. And then this one goes right down on top. No Stampin' Dimensionals on this one, just liquid glue. And now we're going to take that scallop heart and the stamped heart, add our liquid glue, and then adhere it right to the scallop heart. Okay, then we'll flip this one over. We're going to add 3 Stampin' Dimensionals to this one. 1, 2, and 3. Just form your triangle there. Release the backings. And then this is going to get adhered right to the front. I want some of this gold foil on the right side here. Okay, and then I'll press it down. Then I do need to stamp this one. This is a Stitch So Sweetly die. This is the smallest stitched rectangle that's scalloped in the set. And then I'm going to stamp Here For You. Again, I'm using polished pink. We'll stamp that right down in the middle. And then we're going to take this one and we're going to just add this and slide it right into this area here. Again, we'll take our liquid glue, slide it in here. Just make sure you can still see the letter or the word U. Okay, then I've got a linen thread bow, which I made ahead of time, and it's stuck on a glue dot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pinch it in the middle, and then we're going to adhere it right in this corner here. And I know it covers up the sentiment a little bit, but you can fuss with it until you get it to looking good. I already trimmed the tails there, so I know those look fabulous. I've got the Designer Series paper again here. This is just a strip. It's 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4. And we'll add some more of the liquid glue to the back side and then just adhere this right down to the inside with a little bit of white showing at the bottom. And then, let's see. I don't have a piece of, I know what I was doing. I was just gonna grab some pieces as we were making these cards on the fly for the envelope flat. So let's grab some colors here, something in pink, or actually we can just use that gold again. Let's just use that piece up. I'm going to take my Stampin' trimmer and I want to work with a straight edge, so I'm just going to cut that off, and then I'm going to flip this around just in case I use this piece again. I'll have it all ready to go. Okay. All right, so I just hooked that on my wall, and let's bring in the envelope again. And then we'll just add our glue. I've got a new bottle of glue, so it's like really coming out. No matter how light I press on it, it just seems like it's just flowing so much. All right, so now we're gonna line this right back up to the top, and then just give it a good press. And then we can open this up. You might want to press it from the inside as well. Take your scissors that you don't care about. We're going to trim this right down. right along the edge of that flap and straight down to the corner. Save that piece because you can use it for an envelope flap again. And then let's take those loose flower and flourishes. And we're going, again, we'll use three of them. The largest one here, we can use a glue dot. So we'll just grab a glue dot here, press it, and then we'll peel it off. And then I'm just gonna add it like over here in this kind of area that doesn't have any of those patterns going on. We're gonna use all three colors again. So let me grab another one. Let's see, I'm gonna go with, let's see. I'm gonna use three large ones this time. Okay, you can mix and match these. They work really nicely because they're all in the same family colors. So these are the in colors for 2021, 2023. So they'll be around for a while. The colors at least. I don't know about the embellishments. So if you like them, you might want to get them while they're in stock, because we never know what's going to happen with inventory, right? Because this pandemic we're still facing. Okay, so that is our card number 2. We've got 2 more to go. And here's this one with that gold flap. I'll line up the envelopes here so you can kind of see them, the difference. And then this one's green. So we got that one. Here I use 3 different ones, of course. 2 small ones and a larger embellishment. And here's this one too. So there's 3 cards ready to go for whomever wants. I will send them to. All right, so our next card in the lineup is one similar to the one we did in the beginning, but I want to show you 2 different ways on this card. So here's this one. You can see where I stamped this huge heart on the front of the envelope with polished pink, and on the back side is that designer series paper. But the difference between these 2 cards, it was by accident actually. I just forgot to stamp it. So here's one that has been stamped with a larger stamp, heart stamp, and then here's this one that doesn't have the stamping. So you can kind of see the difference. I personally like this one here, so we're gonna go with this one. And then look at that, isn't that beautiful? On the back side and on the front side, we've got a single heart. Okay, so let's grab our paper here. And it looks like we're going to be working with polished pink and Memento black, and I think that's it, and some Stampin' blends. So we're going to work with the envelope first. I'm not going to do that huge heart. I'm just going to use a little tiny one. So we'll stamp. Oh man, I made a mistake there. Oh well, that's okay. And then we want the stitched rectangle die. This one is going to challenge me. You amaze me. Let's see if I can amaze myself and get this straight. I've really struggled with it, but we'll see what we can do. Not too bad. If I might say it's a little too high, but that's okay. It's that exclamation point in that Y is very hard to stamp something straight like this. I could have used a bigger stitch rectangle, but I kind of like the size of this one, so I went with that. Okay, so now we've got this same size as previously. And let me just change over to the next page on here of our instruction sheet. That is cut 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. We're going to take that detailed heart again. It's on an E-block, our Memento black ink, because we'll be using some Stampin' blends. And just ink that up. Flip it over. And then we're going to stamp right down onto that white. Again, 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. The designer series paper, Carol. Let me grab my template. Where'd it go? It's called Expressions in Ink Specialty Designer Series paper. And here's my template. I can go like this for you so you can kind of see it a little bit better. It's found on page 131 of the annual catalog. It retails for $15, but with your discount, 25%, I think, then you will get it for less. So that's great. You're a demonstrator and you are saving your money for sure. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to stamp that heart. But to get a lighter image, you're going to need to stamp off either once or twice. So we're going to show you what to do on that. We're going to take polished pink, and we've got our heart. So I always like to do an example first. So that's first generation, second generation, and third generation. I'm going to go with second generation ink, white. This one here is just a little bit too light. This one is way too dark. So grab that back. We're going to ink up our stamp one more time. And then we're going to stamp off. And now we're going to stamp on top of this heart. And now it doesn't fit perfectly, and you're most likely going to see the top of my head. But it's the only way I can do it, I think. And not too bad. It's meant to go over the edge slightly, okay? And you can kind of see I did the same thing on the sample card as well. All right, so then the next thing we want to do is we want to take our Stampin' blends, polished pink, and I'm going to use light and dark, and we're going to just color the same way we did on the previous card. I'm going to use a darker one on the black lines. And I'm kind of just coloring over what I just stamped, but that's okay. Okay, and then here's one over here. And then over here, again, just going over the lines. We're going to fill it in with the lighter blends. And this card here, we're going to color in the foliage. To do that, I used the light old olive. And let me just grab this. I didn't use the dark just because I wanted it just a lighter effect. So there you go. Almost done this one. We do need to still add in the lighter polished pink. All right, so let me just grab this one, and we're just going to color in over top of all that ink that's already on there. And this little one over here. I know my grandmother would love this card because these are her favorite colors, pink. All right, so now we are going to assemble. You can hear my floor squeaking. I've been standing here all day. Crazy. Okay, so I've got Pear Pizzazz as a green, you guys. So I don't use that one that much, but it goes nicely with the shaded spruce. Okay. And we're going to go with the Expressions in Ink. This is fabulous. So we'll just add our liquid glue right around the edge. And then we'll place this one right here over top with the 1/8 of an inch border. And then we're going to add our ribbon next. So for that color, I'm using the Pale Papaya ribbon. Okay, same kind of ribbon. It's the open weave, okay. Let's put our Stampin' Dimensionals on first. I kind of went ahead of myself there. And they are somewhere on my desk. Here we go. It's crazy. Let me just grab another pack. We're going to add 4. All right, we'll just press those in the back side, peel them off. And then let's bring in our card base here. Again, it's Pear Pizzazz. It's cut 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Then grab our ribbon, put it on the back side, and then flip it on the top. And then it's still loose. Take our bolt, move it over to the left side, and then we're going to create our bow. Okay, there we go. Not too bad. This one has to go way over to the edge, so you might want to aim the loops going up and down somewhat. Now we've got our image here. And this is going to get put down on shaded spruce, same color we used on that first layer. So everything is coordinating nicely. This one gets Stampin' Dimensionals. So you can see this class is kind of built off of every single card. We're kind of doing the same thing. Learning our layering, learning how to embellish with ribbon and the loose flower, Flourishes, learning how to tie bows, and to stamp in different generations of ink. And also use our Stampin' blends too. So then this one's going to go in here. And I'm kind of looking at this area over here. I want to see some of that ribbon showing through, which I do. And then this one here, this sentiment is going to go wherever you want to put it, okay? I kind of think that's a little messy down there, so maybe I'll move it and put it on this side, which I think I'm going to do. So let's add our glue and just kind of add it off. I'm going to go over the edge. So the edge is in the Pear Pizzazz area. Okay. Then we've got our panel here. And let's see, I guess I did not cut a piece of Designer Series paper. So what we will do is we will get out our polished pink and I will just ink it up real quick and stamp a little heart down in the corner there. And let's just add our glue. Oops. Let me just trim off that ribbon here. Okay. And now let's open up this card here and then we'll add the white panel. All right. This is the, oh, here it is, you guys. So this was supposed to go here. I like it, so guess what? I'm gonna cover up that heart and we are just gonna smack this right down here, cover it up. Because that paper is just beautiful. Okay. Let's take our card here and we're going to add the paper right to the envelope flap, just like the other cards. We've got one more card to make, and that one's a little bit easy. It's easier than, there's less stamping, I should say. Okay, hopefully my phone is not dying on me. I don't have it plugged in, so this phone is much better on the battery, so I'm hoping that it won't get low. All right, so just trim around. Okay, so other than that little mess over there, we've got a nice clean card here. So let's flip this one over. And here's this one with the heart. And this one here needs the Flourishing loose flowers. So let's grab some of those again. I'm going to use the Take Your Pick tool and just pick them up with the putty side. We'll put one over there. Whoops. Oh, guess we can't do that, Karen. We need a glue dot, right? Oh my goodness. All right, so let's grab one. I was wondering why that wasn't sticking, right? Need to have something to stick it to. Okay, so now I'm going to take the glue and we're going to add one down here. And we're going to add one over here to form our triangle. So then I will pick the Fresh Freesia one and add it there. And then the Polished Pink. Use the putty side to pick that up. And we'll add it right to that liquid glue, and it will sit. It will sit there real nice, and it will dry, and it will not come off. So liquid glue to the rescue. All right, so let's close this up because we don't want those to go crazy on us. So here's our 3. Well, 1, 2, not sure where the other one is. Oh, here it is, 3. And then here's the one I stamped in the middle with that heart. Here's another one, and then here's one that's just plain white. So that's card number 3. And take a break here. Hopefully I've still got at least one person on. Carol, you've stuck with me from the very beginning. Thank you so much. And if you are just coming on here to watch my cards, this is a Strong Apart card class. It's free. And the kits come to you free by placing an order of $35 or more using my host code, and I'll go over that at the end. All right, so the last card in this class for tonight is this one here. And I've used the gold foil striped for the envelope. And then I'm using Pale Papaya. And here's another of the paper with that option as well. Let me just show you this way. And what I like about this one is I love how I use the Evening Evergreen as a strip here going across, and then I added the Soft Succulent open weave ribbon here. So you can see it in person. I don't know, on the camera or whatever, the laptop, iPad that you're watching from, maybe your phone, it might not be easy to see, but it looks really nice in person. Okay, so for this card here, just a little bit of stamping. The inside, I just added the Designer Series paper. So let me grab everything that's in this kit. Super easy. Let me close up my Polished Pink. We're going to be using Pale Papaya. It's this color here. And let me find that heart stamp. I want to clean that off because it's got that Polished Pink on it. And where's my cleaner? There it is. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to work with Pale Papaya, like I said. And then let's stamp the envelope. Let's make sure our flap is on the top, which it is. Just going to ink this heart up and add it to the lower corner there. And then we should have a circle. This is you can use your layering circles to create the circle. I use a 1 3/4 punch just because it was quick and easy. The sentiment here for this one is through struggle comes strength. And then this is going to get stamped right in the middle of that circle. If you wanted to use a darker color, I would suggest using Evening Evergreen. That would pop a little bit more than the Pale Papaya, but I use Evening Evergreen so much that I wanted to change. So we're changing that one up a little bit for tonight. Okay, so we've got our Pale Papaya, again, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then we've got Evening Evergreen, and this is cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then we have the Expressions in Ink, which is cut 3 3/4 by 5. I love this panel on the deep green. This one would look sweet too. Okay, on this side, that would look really nice. But I'm gonna add my glue to the green side here because I'm gonna show off this really pretty foily specialty paper. Okay, that hint of Evening Evergreen coming through really looks nice on this pattern here. All right, so then we've got that, and now here's my strip of the Evening Evergreen, and it's cut 3/4 inch by 3 7/8. I'm gonna add this panel a little bit lower than half, so it's going edge to edge with that panel that is underneath the Designer Series paper. Then we're gonna take that piece of soft succulent ribbon here. Okay, and you're gonna need tape for this. So let me grab some from my drawer. And what I like to do is about 1/2 inch over the edge, I'm gonna fold it over and then tape it down. Grab another piece of tape and then come it right down the middle and then fold it over, because you can see that's a little long ribbon, but that's okay. I pre-cut it earlier today, so that's what that looks like right now. Then grab your liquid glue and then add your glue, and then add this one right to the front. Press it down on all the edges there. Then we're going to take the Label Me Lovely along with the circle, and we're going to adhere these two together, looking at the sentiment. We're making sure it's straight, and if you're happy with it, then just press it down. You can flip it over and rub from the back side too. I like to do that a lot. The Stampin' Dimensionals we'll put on the back side here. I'm just going to add 2, one on the top and one at the bottom, and then we'll just press those off and peel them. This one is going to go right about here. And what I'm looking for before I press it down is just looking for sure that it's straight, and also there's equal distance from this edge here and this edge to the strip that's going all the way across. I'm happy with it, and I'll press it down. Then we've got our basic weight panel, which is going to go on the inside. That's cut 4 1/4 or 4 by 5 1/4. Here's a strip. It's probably 1/2 inch, just excess paper I did not throw out. So it's just a strip of paper. And then we'll add our glue, open up the card, and then add this one in. Okay, and then we will grab our scrap for the envelope. And it's going to go on the back side here. And then we'll add this right to the corner and to the opposite corner. Press it down. And then we'll open it up, and then we'll trim this right down, and we'll be almost done. And I hope you learned something tonight with my free class. How many of you out there like to add your Designer Series paper to your envelope flap? Or if you haven't done it, now that you've seen it done, how do you plan on doing this? I think it adds a lot to your envelopes. Okay, so now we're just going to add the loose flower flourishes, and we're going to definitely add some of the pale papaya ones. I'm going to add this one right. Whoop, I did it again, you guys. Oh my goodness. Need that glue dot. There we go. Now we can adhere it. Okay, and then we'll add, let's add, I think I'm going to, with this one, I'm just going to do all pale papayas.
So I'm going to add one down here, a little glue, and then one up here, a little dot of glue, and then use the putty side here just to get it. I got to flip it over, so I want to take it from the front side. And then let's grab one more from this little container and then add this one right here. Okay, so let's close shop here. Here's this one. And then here's this one here. And then, actually, hold on. Let's line them up like I have been doing all night tonight so you can kind of see the different designs of paper. And then here's this one, and this one. So there's 3 more cards for you guys. Love the envelope flap. Yeah, it's so pretty, right? Why wouldn't you, why wouldn't anybody do this to their envelopes? Like, seriously, it just takes like 2 minutes to add something like this. Makes it look so much more rich and inviting. So let's go over all the cards that we made tonight. Let me just stack these up. So this was card number 4 in our free class, Strong of Heart. And then number 1 was this one here. Use the polished pink ribbon here. So polished pink, soft succulent. And then let me grab this one here. This one's beautiful. I love this one. This one is using that double heart punch there, scallop in a regular punch, and I stamped that heart. That was super fun. And then here's this one to You Amaze Me. And then you can do it in white or with the stamped heart in the middle there. So, and here's all the fabulous envelopes we put together. So, again, let me just go over the special I'm running from November 4th through the 7th. I am going to put this up on my YouTube channel once I figure out how to do that. So you'll have my YouTube followers will also have the availability to order this. So you not order it, you'll get it for free. So what I am doing is running, we just did the Strong of Heart card class. My ordering special runs from November 4th through the 7th, 2021. And you need to go to my online store, which is KarenMcNall1.stampinup.net, or you can just go to my website, inspiredbygraham.com, to order there. Just go to the top menu and hit the shop now. It'll bring you there as well, if that's easier for you. The host code you'll want to use with your order of $35 as minimum is 27EXQPUU. I will have this in the description box as well, and also on my YouTube channel. And what you'll receive with $35 or more is my kit. So here's the kit. It's all ready to go. Comes with a nice special tag for you guys. Inside you can see the flourishing embellishments there in a cello bag, your 4 card kits, and a 6x6 sheets of the specialty paper Expressions in Ink. You'll get 1 sheet of each of the designs. So super great bargain for you guys. And if your order is $50 or more, you still use that host code. I'm going to throw in a free ribbon of my choice. And I pulled all of these from my stash that I have that are not open yet. And I'll send this with the kits as well, but I need to see your order using that host code there, because that's what tells me you are ordering off of this special here called Strong of Heart. So I hope that I brought you some a good class, and I look forward to making a class with you guys next week. I'm not sure what day it will be, but it will be someday next week when my schedule opens up a little bit. Maybe Monday, but I'm not quite sure. I got a team gathering on Wednesday, and I got to design my card club, and also I have a craft fair set up, and I have on stage. So super busy this coming week, and I'm gonna fit it all in because guess what? We get an extra hour of stamping on Sunday because it's daylight savings time. And so we'll be going into the dark zone, right? until I don't know when. Sometimes I think at the end of January is when I feel a little bit better about, oh, the days are getting longer and it's much more noticeable. So I hope you guys have a great evening. And if you have any questions, let me know. You can always message me here, or you can email me at inspiredbygram@gmail.com. And you can also join my newsletter in my email list by going to my website, inspiredbygram.com, and fill out that little pop-up, and it'll add you to my constant contact list. So I hope you have a great night, and take care and be well.